Thank you, boys. Thank you for your help. How exciting to have such a nice crowd to honor Joe Rutkowski today and our North High Orchestra students at Saturday. We're so pleased to have you. Before we begin this morning, I'd like to acknowledge some of our dear friends and colleagues that are joining us, who have joined us this morning. Dr. Prendergrass is here in the audience. Board Trustee Rebecca Sassooni. Our very own Dr. Hickey. And of course, we welcome our JFK students and friends. Where are you, Miss JFK? We also welcome Baker School. And of course, front and center, our Saddle Rock students. Welcome. Mr. Rutkowski, we have so much to say at the end of this program, and we will leave our remarks for the end. But at this time, we'd like to begin by introducing you our very own maestro, Joe Rutkowski, who will lead us this morning.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bradley. Good morning, boys and girls. Do you have a program? Hold up your program so I can see it. Now I want you to follow. Okay, you can put your programs down. I want you to follow the program because I need all of you to be teachers today. I want you to take this program home and show your parents tonight, and I want you to tell them at least 2 things that you learned today. Can I count on you to teach your parents 2 things tonight? Raise your hand if you can do that. All right, I want to thank all the people that Ms. Bradley introduced. I also want to thank Mr. Johnson, our head custodian who set the stage, and also our parent boosters, Selma Soikan, Julie Lee, Robin Schlusselberg, and Nancy Notar Francesco. Thank you very much. And now, please welcome our concertmaster, Isabel Yang. What's the instrument that gives the A for the orchestra? Raise your hand if you know. What is it? The oboe. Now that Isabel has tuned up the orchestra, I want you to know that we are here because 18 students on this stage got up at 4:30 in the morning to take 2 exams in order to be with you today. Please stand up when I call your name. Carolina Caniera, Belle Lim, Christopher Liu, Isabel Yang, Megan Zhu, Arad Soikan, Eitan Segadapar, Burke Soikan, Mandy Sun, Joshua Nuriellen, Joshua Rothbaum, Kayla Yusefzada, Freddie Sion, Molly Raxko, Matthew Hahn, Adrian Kokababi, Samuel Calto, Jacob Lander, and Kevin Lau. Let's have a round of applause. I'm sorry, and Audrey Tang and Elena Zhu, please stand up. Okay, we have 13 musicians who will be graduating high school on June 10. And if you look on the front of your program, you're going to see that those students were sitting in your seats in that picture, and now they're graduating. Now, 10 of them are going to be scholar lecturers, and they're going to tell you a little bit about each piece, because this program is music that tells a story. Josh, Nori, Ellen?
How are we feeling tonight? Gioacchino Antonio Rossini was an Italian composer who was known as the Italian Mozart. He composed The Italian Girl in Algiers when he was 21 years old, and it only took him 18 days. Make sure not to fall asleep during the quiet part, because there's going to be a big bang to wake you up.
What do we call the person who stands in front of the orchestra or band and directs them playing? Raise your hand, you know what it is. The conductor, and there's another word that starts with M. Maestro. But when it's a lady conductor, it's maestra. Everyone say maestra. Maestra. Okay, our maestra for today is Sarah Sheetsaz. Everyone say Maestra Sarah Sheetsaz. And she will conduct the Italian in Algeria. I wonder why these guys were not playing. Anybody know? Why is it? Like, the first piece is by the band. In fact, the first two pieces are just the band, so the string players are not playing. The band is made up of 3 families of instruments. You probably know this already. Woodwinds, brass, and percussion. The woodwind and brass instruments use air blowing into the instruments, of course. Percussionists strike their instruments to make musical sounds. But all the band members sing a warm-up every day to check their tuning. Even the percussionists have to check the tuning of the kettle drums. Right now we're going to have Josh Rothbaum, the concert master, who usually sits over here when it's just the band on the stage, but he's going to tune the band right now. In our band class and orchestra class, I make the students sing because this way they will hear themselves when they're in tune or when they're out of tune. And now Alec Rich is going to talk about the next piece that you're going to hear.
Alright, so La Forza del Destino, translated The Force of Destiny, is an Italian opera written by Giuseppe Verdi. First performed in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1862, the overture, or instrumental introduction to the opera, has become famous around the globe. Today we will be playing an excerpt from that overture.
Let's hear it for Alec Rich.
ballet. What is ballet? Yes. Well, yes, it is dancing. It's dancing, but it also is dancing that uses music to tell a story. And senior lecturer Shannon Soccer will now tell us the story of Swan Lake.
Hi, so who's familiar with Swan Lake? Just, yeah. Okay, so Sasha's Swan Lake was composed in 1875 after he received a commission from Vladimir Petrovich Bishop, the intendant of Moscow's Russian Imperial Theaters. The ballad's content is based on a Russian folktale, and over the course of 2 acts tells the story of a princess turned into a swan. On March 4th, 1877, Swan Lake premiered at Moscow's Bolshoi Theater.
Thank you, Shannon. Before we start playing Swan Lake, I want to show you what all our musicians do in the instrumental class. You heard that the band sings, the orchestra also sings, but we also conduct every day, and we go through a repertoire of rhythm patterns.
Down, left, right, up, down, right, up, down, left, left, right, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 da.
We don't have one conductor, we have 82 conductors today. And also, I was working in Manhattan during the Christmas vacation, and I saw some former students that were going to a play on Broadway, and the first thing they said to me was, down, left, right, up, down. These are the short versions of some of these pieces, but now we're going to do a good amount from Romeo and Juliet. And Elena Zhu, our senior lecturer, will now talk about, Isabel Yang, our concert master, will talk about Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet Fantasy Overture by Rutkowski is inspired by Shakespeare's play. The love theme signifies the first meeting of the couple and the scene at Juliet's balcony. This piece was rewritten 3 times, and the final version was completed by 1880, but received its premiere May 1st, 1886.
Let's hear it for Isabel Yang.
figure that, very famous. Now, do you remember who the composer is? Say Tchaikovsky. Now, Tchaikovsky was a very popular composer. He was also the conductor of the New York Philharmonic. Right now, we're going to do one more piece by Tchaikovsky, and this piece is even more famous, and Elena Zhu will now talk about the next piece.
The year 1812 Festival Overture in E-flat major, Opus 49, popularly known as the 1812 Overture, is a concert overture written in 1880 by Russian composer Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky to commemorate Russia's defense of its motherland against Napoleon's invading Grande Army in 1812.
Thank you, Elaine.
You recognize that music, right? Okay, and who's the composer? Very good. Now, will all the Kennedy graduates sitting on the stage stand up? Okay, when I point to you, say your name, and then your instrument, and then sit down. Isabel Yang, Elena Zhu, Judah Noriyellen. Okay, any of the basses? Okay, Eitan, say your last name. On the bass. Sean Maher. Okay, Daniel Zhang on the violin. Adam Su on the violin, Matthew Zhu on the violin, Mark Zhu on the viola, Esther Huang on the viola, Christopher Matos Guerrero on the viola, Daniel Choi on the cello, Alfonso Renteria on the cello, Dylan Solomon on the cello, Ariella Sakai on the flute, Madeline Yang on the flute, Joshua Rothbaum on the clarinet, Kayla Yusefzadeh on the clarinet, Lance Hakimian on the alto saxophone, Yaron Nasir on the alto saxophone, Sean Eliassi, he played the trumpet and now he's playing the French horn, Molly Raxko on tenor saxophone, Michael Cahan on trumpet, Emma Sassouni on trumpet, Matthew Hahn on trumpet, Josh Noriyellen on bassoon. Adrian Kagabi played the trumpet, and now he plays the tuba. Percussionist? Okay. Alex Gayula, percussion. Lauren Murphy, percussion. Sabrina Schlusselberg, percussion. Would you hear? Gabe Kong on percussion. Kevin Lau on percussion. Okay. Did I miss anyone from JFK? Let's hear it for the JFK graduates. By the way, is Miss Kempton here? Not yet, okay. Baker, students on the stage, stand up. Okay. Any bass player? Okay. Josh Oken on cello. Wellington Chen on cello. Annette Hopkin on cello. Hani Kang on cello. Shannon Soccer on violin. Audrey Tang on violin. Sally Soccer on violin. Christopher Liu on violin. Caroline Pizer on violin. Francesca Kilufo on flute. Carly Fan on flute. Catherine Smolin on flute. Freddie Sion on bass clarinet. Kirsten Law on clarinet. Warren Wong on trumpet. Wait. What was first saying? Vincent Wong on trumpet. Preston Chan on trumpet. Jordan Pizer on trumpet. Alec Rich on baritone saxophone. Liam Nihan on baritone saxophone. Jacob Landerer on percussion. Sam Calto on percussion. Did I miss anyone from Baker? Let's hear it for the Baker students. And now, the Saddle Rock students on the stage, please stand up. Saddle Rock teachers, do you recognize any of these people? Okay. There's Burke, raise your hand. That's Burke Soykon on bass. His brother, Aral on cello. Arabella Notar Francesco on viola. Jason Center on violin. Elaine Zhang on flute. David Chung on violin. Kelly Chow on flute. Scott Levy on alto saxophone. Eitan Rand on bassoon. Sabrina Schlusselberg on percussion. Benjamin Malakan on trumpet. Any other Saddle Rock students? Let's hear it for the Saddle Rock graduates. Now, not everyone on this stage went to an elementary school in Great Neck. Stand up if you did not go to Baker, Saddle Rock, or Kennedy. Now, you really have to give them a round of applause. All the other students like coming back and seeing their old teachers, their former teachers, but these people didn't go to elementary school at any of those three schools, so I'm really glad that they're here. So let's start with Neil Chow, and where did you go to elementary school? In Taiwan, and you just got here from Taiwan 2 months ago. Let's hear it for Neil. Megan, where did you go to elementary school? Megan went to Lakeville, and we're so glad that she went to North, Middle, and North High. Let's hear it from Megan. Belle Lim, where did you go to elementary school?
Amarillo, Texas.
Texas, and she came to Great Neck by way of Rhode Island. So let's hear it for Belle. And Carolina, where did you go to school? In Brazil. She came from Brazil. Let's hear it for Carolina. Kevin Tang, where did you go to elementary school? He's from Queens. Let's hear it for Kevin. Sarah Shesides, where did you go to elementary school? But, like, what country was it in? Upstate New York. Let's hear it for Sarah. Mandy Sun, where did you go to school? Okay, she's from Hong Kong. Let's hear it for Mandy. Izzy Rutkowski, where did you go to elementary school? Port Washington. She came from Port Washington. Great neck. I'm so happy. Jasmine Roshan, where did you go to elementary school? North Shore. She came from North Shore. Let's hear it for Jasmine. Aaron Wong, where did you go to elementary school? He's from Bayside, Queens. Let's hear it for Chungjun Oh, where did you go to school? Hawaii. He came here from Hawaii. Let's hear it for all musicians that came here.